Hello and welcome to our Thursday tune-up training for our 2022 Give a Hoot participants. I'm Amanda Hester with the Park County Community Foundation. Today we'll be taking a look at how to create effective peer-to-peer fundraisers in order to extend your reach during the campaign through social media and email. There will be a slide deck and a copy of this recording available on the Resource Center and Nonprofit Toolkit pages, and I'll also be sharing the PowerPoint in the chat during the presentation. However, Malin Brown from Neon One is joining us today to give a live platform demonstration of these features. For those of you that aren't familiar with Neon One, they provide the platform and support behind the scenes to allow us to put on Give a Hoot. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Malin.
Thanks so much for joining today. So we're going to review everything regarding peer fundraising. So today we will discuss why is peer-to-peer fundraising important, kind of what is a peer fundraiser, who are my supporters that would be great peer fundraising advocates. We will walk through the peer-to-peer fundraising nonprofit experience, so how to create it on your nonprofit host backend, as well as edit, deactivate, and so forth. And then we'll take a look at how the experience is for our fundraisers, so the public, such as other donors, volunteers, board members, etc., and see what their experience is like. There's also a slide deck that has steps that walks you through this, as well as a fundraising kind of how-to page. But give me just a second here and I will share my screen and we'll take a look. But while I'm loading that, first of all, why is peer fundraising important? So peer-to-peer fundraising basically enables your nonprofit organization and fundraisers, your volunteers, your biggest supporters. It gives them the option to be a philanthropist on your behalf and help spread the word about your organization and what you're doing. So these are the people that are super passionate about what you're doing, that are often involved. They have the opportunity to create a page and share it to their friends in social networks, just to kind of expand the word about your organization, what you're doing, as well as expanding the word about Give a Hoot. This gives them the option to share their page, which would collect donations that go to the nonprofit organization, and get the word out via social media and email. Pages are easily created and managed on the Give a Hoot platform, whether you're a nonprofit or a peer user. And supporters can be anyone of any kind. So when you think of supporters within your organization, as well as in the public, supporters within your organization could just be, encouraging your staff to promote a certain program or something that you guys are doing within your organization and raising money for that specific program through the fundraiser. This could be your board members having a competition to see who raises the most money for fundraising. This could be, in the public, your peers, your friends, your family, volunteers that are passionate about helping. And, every person that creates a peer fundraiser on your behalf is just a philanthropist spreading the word and expanding the message and your mission. So I'll share my screen here. We'll first start from the giveahoot.org homepage. From the homepage, first going to walk you through the experience as a nonprofit. So I'm going to log into my nonprofit account. Give me just a moment to do so. Sorry, this logged me in as my admin, big admin Neon One account. So let me log out of that. All right, great. So now I'm logged into my Neon One test organization. So this is what it looks like once you're logged into your nonprofit dashboard. I swear I just approved this before we started recording, Amanda. So I feel a little crazy, but we'll continue and see if it'll let me do it as unapproved. I don't think it will. I might need to actually give me just a second. I'm going to log back into my admin side and approve. Just a moment, sorry. I need the nonprofit profile to be approved to create pages because they can only be created for approved organizations for the current campaign. All right. All right. Well, let's log back in.
Maylin, I actually find it very encouraging that even as the resident expert, you still come up against bumps. I appreciate that normalizes.
Yeah,
There's
right.
occasionally be a challenge.
Absolutely. I just approved the organization, so I don't know why it's saying that. It must be something weird with my test account. So we're just going to keep going. It's going to let me do it, it looks like. So I'm just going to look at that later.
Okay, thank you.
To look at your fundraisers as a nonprofit, you would go to your My Fundraisers tab. This does default you to show the fundraiser status as the currently published peer fundraising pages that have been created for your campaign this year. So you do have the ability to see peer fundraisers that were created last year. This could be any fundraisers that were created as a nonprofit user, you know, a host of your organization, or this could be anyone from the public that created one too. As the organization user, you have access to see everyone's peer fundraising pages and adjust and activate, edit them, copy them and post a new one. So I will show you how to do that. First, we'll kind of look at just creating a brand new one. So we'd click the Create Fundraise button. Would you like me to admit this person? Julia. It's just showing on my screen.
I'll do that.
Okay. Once you click create, it opens up this pretty simple template here for you. So you'll just fill out the editing tool on the left-hand side. So you'll set a title. Your custom URL is a specific URL you would create that is basically the overall link that you're going to share your page to. So it does have Give a Hoot involved as well as the organization, and then you kind of name your fundraising page. So help me raise funds for my favorite animal rescue. If I did May loves animal rescue just as my URL. This can be whatever I want. It doesn't really matter. You can set a goal. You do have a defaulted Give a Hoot hero image here in the case you don't have one that you'd like to share of your own. So you can use this image, or if you have one that's a little more tailored to your nonprofit or live in action of you doing something with this nonprofit, you can upload or change the image. And then you have the option to tell a story here. So this will display down here, and you'll basically tell us why you love this nonprofit. And tell us what you're passionate about, you know, talk about their causes, how you'd like to raise funds, X, Y, and Z, and then you will basically push Save Fundraise. And at that point, your fundraising page is published. I do want to let you know it can take up to 2 hours for your direct URL to be live or the page to show live. Most of the time it's pretty quick, but there is an opportunity that it could be slightly delayed in that 2-hour time frame. So don't panic, it will show. You can see that my new one added to my list for published here. I have the option to view this on the public side. And then I also have some dots here with 3 little dots that I can take a look at a few things. So if I click the 3 dots, I have the ability to edit this fundraiser, copy the fundraiser, which would allow me the option to make a few minor edits, such as adjusting the custom URL because they are unique to each, and then publishing a page. So I can view donations that have came just to this fundraiser and export that data if I need it. And maybe a page is a little bit inappropriate or doesn't really fit the narrative, you do have the ability to deactivate the page entirely, which would remove it from the public view. And once deactivated, there's not a way to reactivate. So a new one would have to be created. With the copy feature, so if you created a peer fundraiser last year, you can drop this status here to show all, and you can see the ones from before. So they do say deactivated or not currently live. If I did grab one and clicked copy fundraiser, this opens up the same template that we were looking at before. I have the ability to update this and post the new one. Back to the fundraising page here. When I edit, it's also the same template. So very simple, very quick and easy to use. And then deactivating, just to give you an example, would remove this from my published status. As Amanda did mention earlier in the call, there will be a slide deck, and I believe she mentioned the recording may be also in the resource center that you have access to, and potentially on the public fundraising page. Do you guys have any questions about the nonprofit experience, or I can show you the peer fundraising experience?
Maylin, I had a question.
Yeah.
So if somebody creates a fundraiser and as an organization, you're not really comfortable with some aspect of it, is there any possibility that those can be edited, or is the only option approve or disapprove?
Nope, public pages are automatically approved. So it doesn't go through like an approval or a deny when pages are created. So anyone in the public can create a page, but if it is inappropriate or so, you don't have to deactivate it entirely. As an organization user, you have access to edit all of the peer fundraisers. So maybe there's just some information that might be invalid that you just want to change, and the fundraiser would be fine. You can, it's a kind of a bad example because of course all of these are my peer fundraisers that I've created. But you would have the ability, if this was like Barb, one of your peer fundraisers, I would have the ability to go in and click the edit option, and I could change what might be inaccurate on your page to make it more presentable.
Thank you. That's really helpful. And I know in the past, sometimes folks have come up against, they've had a challenge getting their photo up, or it has come up sideways or something. And it looks like that's also something that we could just go ahead and re-upload the image. Yep. Terrific.
Yep. Us as admins of Give a Hoot, like you and Amanda and Gavin and so forth, you know, like me, the support team, Jessica and Greg, we have access to help with those things if it comes through support. But of course, nonprofit users also have access to help their peers adjust images and everything onward too.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Amy, Dave, or Julia, any other questions? Okay.
It looked like Julia had one in the chat. She said, do we need a URL for it to go to? Where does this get published?
Yes, you do. So the URL is something that you're required to set in here. So once you have this, you do have the ability to view the public page, and you can copy the URL from your browser, or I'll show you from the front end. Let me log out here. And we'll go back to log out of this one and just close that, and we'll go back to Give a Hoot and go to my nonprofit page. So this is also kind of the experience as a peer fundraiser. So as a peer fundraiser, of course, you'd be searching for the nonprofit of your choosing that you want to make a peer-to-peer page for. Click into their profile you have a fundraise button in the top right-hand corner, and then it also says create a fundraiser for this nonprofit down here. So down here, there is an area that shows fundraisers that have been created for your nonprofit straight on the profile. If you clicked show all, you would see any and all of them. I can see my page here, and then basically this, copy and paste, this is my direct URL. So if for any reason I wanted to use this to share to my friends, post on my Facebook, email, whatever, I can copy the URL from the browser tab, or there's a share right here. So you can push this Facebook, Twitter share options from the profile page. So navigating back to the nonprofit profile, acting as a peer on this sort. So I want to create a page because I love Neon One and I want them to help raise funds. Totally theoretical. This profile will not be live during Give a Hoot, but you know what I mean. So I just click fundraise. It directs me to the fundraiser/donor account. So if you have created a peer fundraiser last year, or you've created a donor account in the past, you already have a login and you can use that one. If you haven't created a peer fundraiser before, we'll walk through the steps on how to quickly create an account, or you can send yourself a password link if you forget your password. So we'll create an account here. Super simple form to fill out. Click create an account, and it populates me to the same easy template we were just looking at. So just for purposes of this, I will do Animal Rescue 2. And for this page, we want to raise $500. I'll show you how to change an image. I know I don't particularly have one that's going to be the appropriate image size. So this looks a little blurry, but kind of good for an example, because you will see if the image is not the correct size, it will look blurry or it'll cut off any wording. So the aspect ratios for your image are below the upload right here, 2:1 ratio, resolution and size recommendations. Tell my story. And as soon as I push save fundraiser, this publishes again. So again, just kind of a heads up, it could be 2 hours. Most of the time it's immediate though. This is inside my fundraiser/donor account. So you can see I'm logged in up here in the right-hand corner. If you click on my name, this is kind of how you just get to the overview of the account. Within the donor account, and fundraiser account, there's other things you can store, but for the purpose of this, we're looking at my fundraisers. So you can see my published fundraiser here, and I have the same options as a nonprofit. So I can create one, I can review my page, I can edit my page and change anything, change this, save that change. I have a settings cog here where I can also copy, deactivate, or view the donations that came just to this page. The only difference is since I'm a public figure, as a peer, I'm not a nonprofit administrator. I only have access as a peer fundraiser to edit my own pages. So pages that I've created for any nonprofit organization, I won't have access to edit other peer fundraisers on behalf of the nonprofit. And then if we just for example purposes, go back to the organization profile, you can now see the 2 fundraisers that I have. This area is built a little small, so only like 2 or 3, I think, display at a time. It does rotate, so the same fundraisers, if there are more than 3, will not show every time, just for equality of presentation. But you can always select all and see them. And that's it. Inside your resource center. Yeah.
Sorry. Isn't that, so this is the Neon One page showing the fundraisers for Neon One. Isn't
Yep.
there also a page on the Give a Hoot page that shows all the fundraisers?
Yes, absolutely. So when you're from the Give a Hoot homepage and you search for organizations, of course, you're defaulted where it says nonprofit profile that's highlighted blue on the button here. And this shows all the nonprofits that are registered for Give a Hoot, including my test organization that will be deactivated later. But you can flip this to fundraisers, and then you can see that currently, including my 2 test examples, there are 8 fundraisers published for Give a Hoot. So then you can kind of see helping kids with autism, loving the littles, funding Nemo. These are good stuff. So you can and are more than welcome to click around and look at other people's pages and see kind of what they're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cute. Do you guys have any other questions? I just had a reminder that Amanda wanted me to show the nonprofit alert text option that we've now activated on the platform. With the flooding and urgent needs in Montana, there is an option now on your nonprofit profile for you to basically alert any immediate needs that you need for recovery. So let me log in as my nonprofit account and I can show you where that is and then what it looks like once we have that set up. It basically just gives you a red banner at the top of your nonprofit profile that talks about your urgent need. So if you go to your My Public Profile tab where you would edit your information, it is on the Overview tab and click Edit My Public Profile and scroll down. It's in this public facing content area and says alert text. So above your mission statement, list my urgent needs here. And then I would submit that. This will update my profile. And now when we go back to my profile, I'll show you what it looks like to have this enabled. It is optional. You don't have to use it if you don't want, but it is a good feature if you do need some assistance. It will have this red alert banner here, and anything you type in here will display.
Right, this is Amanda. I will just add, I know we've gone back and forth on locking profiles by a certain date, but if you feel that you'd like to use this urgent need alert banner, just let Barbara know and we can go in and unlock your profile and give you an opportunity to edit your public profile and get that banner out there.
Yep, absolutely. Urgent needs, if it's for like programs or specific things that you need funding for, you could also create peer fundraisers on behalf of those urgent needs, add your alert banner and share and kind of talk about those things when you post to Facebook or send your emails. So all kinds of good stuff. There is a fundraiser page on the website that does have some generic step-by-step instructions. You do have button links to see all fundraisers, and there is a peer fundraiser instruction. This is a PowerPoint presentation that walks through the same thing I just walked through. So if you're not a video kind of person and you'd rather have a document to review or pass along to your friends, definitely download this. It'll go right to your desktop. And that is it.